What's going on, everyone? It's the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another fantasy football video. Today we are going to be talking about 2023 bold predictions at the running back position. I did just put out a video at the wide receiver position. You can check that out right up here. But before we get into it, if you guys could, go around, give this video a like. I'm answering every single comment, so you guys have any questions, please let me know down below. And subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to help me out, and it is totally free. You can always change your mind later. With that though, guys, let's hop right into it with our first bold prediction, and we are going to be going from least spiciest to spiciest take. So if you do want to see the spiciest take, be sure to stay tuned till the end of the video. But either way, starting it off, my first take, and this is kind of a more lukewarm take, maybe 2 years ago would have been an absolute mind-boggling take, but it's that Jamaal Williams outperforms Alvin Kamara this upcoming season, and despite the fact that right now Alvin Kamara is being drafted pretty fairly ahead of Jamaal Williams over on Underdog Fantasy, I mean, we're talking 7 spots ahead in terms of ADP, and Alvin Kamara is coming off as the running back 33, Jamaal Williams the running back 36. I think, honestly, to me, it seems pretty safe that Jamaal Williams will outperform Alvin Kamara this upcoming season. I mean, first of all, we have Alvin Kamara's impending legal troubles, which may force him to miss anywhere between 3 and 6 games. Not only that, he may receive jail time, which would pretty much put his whole season down the drain. Not only that, Alvin Kamara has lost efficiency these last couple seasons, going from almost 5 yards a carry his first 4 seasons to now under 4 yards a carry over the last 2 seasons, while also seeing a dip in his receiving production. I mean, going from around 100 targets a season to now the past 2 seasons, 67 and 77. Still absolutely fine numbers, but not the Kamara of old, not the Kamara we know, which is a little bit sad. Not only that, we will see Jamaal Williams vulture a lot of the goal line work from the Saints offense, which Kamara wasn't really getting anyway. I mean, he only had 4 touchdowns this last season. Jamaal Williams had 17. So Jamaal Williams will be receiving a bulk of the goal line work. While he will not be getting the receiving work, I don't really think that matters all too much when he's going to be playing the first 4 games almost single-handedly, being the only running back in this offense. That's why I do think Jamaal Williams will outperform Kamara. Honestly, I wouldn't have even had this as a hot take, but apparently Kamara's listed ahead on Underdog, and I don't get that at all. I would prefer Jamaal Williams in a vacuum, although I think a lot of people would prefer Kamara. I guess that's why this is a hot take. Either way, though, I think Jamaal Williams is one of the most slept-on players on Underdog right now because the situation is so confusing, but I think Jamaal Williams takes the running back 1 position. My next hot take, getting a little bit spicier here. We got Joe Mixon getting cut by the Bengals, and the Bengals then taking Jahmyr Gibbs at the end of the first round of this upcoming draft. Well, this is kind of more so a shot in the dark. I do think there is pretty high potential that Joe Mixon does get cut. I mean, first of all, $10 million in cap savings is a lot for a team, especially a team that's looking to sign Joe Burrow to a very long-term extension, and a team that's looking to sign T. Higgins to a long-term extension. Not only that, you got Jamar Chase waiting in the woodwork to get signed as well. Overall, this team needs money desperately, so they are going to have to let players walk, and I think Joe Mixon will be one of them. He's another player with impending legal troubles who may simply just get arrested and not play in the NFL at all anymore. We don't know what's going to happen with Joe Mixon, but honestly, I don't see a scenario where he ends up with the Bengals. He did not really play all that well last season. Samaje Perine in his stead looked a lot better. That's why I do think the Bengals will try and take a running back, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs fits their team really well, especially considering Joe Burrow does not rush the ball. I think he will like to check the ball down a lot more, as we saw last season, with Joe Mixon actually having 75 targets in the offense, 60 receptions. That 75 targets actually ranked Joe Mixon as the 6th most targeted running back in all of football, which is a great metric for Jahmyr Gibbs to come in and take, especially considering Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the most premier pass-catching running backs coming out in this draft class. He should make it to the end of the first round. I would be pretty surprised if he goes in the middle of the first round. Maybe the Bengals do elect to trade up for him, but I don't think it would take much to trade up for him. Personally, I think this fit seems almost too good to be true for the Bengals, and I think this would push Gibbs to be the 102 in non-Superflex formats, aside Jackson Smith and Jigba. In Superflex formats, probably more like the 104, 105, but we shall see. I think it is a pretty interesting landing spot and a scenario that could happen, but still is a bold take here. Next up, another bold take I got is Najee Harris finishing as the top 5 running back. And considering how much hate Najee Harris got last season for the abysmal start he had, I do think this is a decently spicy take, although he did finish as the running back 3 in his rookie season. This is somebody who was arguably the most disappointing running back who played a full 17 games. I mean, before week 12 this season, Najee Harris had yet to crack 12 fantasy points in a game, which is abysmal. He does come out and dominate the second half of the season, finishing as the running back 5 from weeks 10 on, which I think bodes very, very well for Najee Harris this upcoming season. Furthermore, we do bolster their O-line. They should take an O-lineman in the draft here. I think, honestly, Najee Harris is in a great situation, and Kenny Pickett should only be getting better going into year 2. I think Tomlin is a great head coach who runs a great system. We should see a lot of progression from the Steelers offense, and that's why I do like Najee Harris a lot. While top 5 is not the most likely outcome, I do really like the potential that Najee Harris has, and we've seen it before. I do think this is a pretty bold take, though, considering the fact that a lot of people really don't like Najee Harris, and this year he is coming off the board as a running back 14 on Underdog Fantasy. So Najee Harris finishing the top 5 running back. Now let's get even spicier. James Conner finishing as a top 8 running back this upcoming season. And well, again, I do not think this is the most likely outcome. James Conner is set to have another great season. I mean, first of all, we're talking about a depth chart that is absolutely desolate. I mean, James Conner is competing for volume right now with Keontae Ingram and Corey Clement. That is really, really terrible. Not only that, the Cardinals are a depleted roster. I don't see the odds that they draft a running back as that high, especially considering they have so many needs at so many different positions. I mean, they could elect to just tank this entire season now that Kyler Murray is out, and that's why I do think James Conner will be getting a large chunk of volume. As we saw when Kyler Murray missed time this last season, I mean, James Conner was arguably better without Kyler Murray and with Colt McCoy this last season, averaging about 16 carries a game, and to add on to that, another 6 targets a game, which is great at the running back position. I mean, this is somebody who has had an above average touchdown rate his entire career. This is somebody who can catch the ball to the backfield like nobody's business. And this is somebody who we've seen have a top 5 finish before. Despite all that, James Conner right now is coming off as the running back 31 on Underdog Fantasy right now, which I do not get at all. If they draft a running back, sure, I move him down. If they drafted Bijan Robinson, if they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, yes, I move him down. But if you're drafting a late running back, like a 5th or a 6th round running back, I do not see how that affects James Conner. That's like bringing in another Keontae Ingram. Who cares? James Conner, one of the most undervalued running backs in all of fantasy football right now. Somebody who can score double-digit touchdowns on any given season. Somebody who could end up with 500 yards receiving, especially if Kyler is to miss an extended period of time, which honestly, to me, makes a lot of sense. I think Kyler will miss a lot of time, especially considering the fact that the Cardinals project to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. And if they are one of the worst teams in the NFL, why rush your potential franchise quarterback back just to maybe be re-injured again? I don't know personally, but I think James Conner is going to be in a situation where he's going to receive a lot of checkdowns from Colt McCoy, where he's going to run the ball a ton because Colt McCoy is not that great of a quarterback. And even when Kyler Murray is back, I'm fine with it because James Conner has proven that he can be great with Kyler Murray, as he was in 2021. I really like James Conner this season, and well, top 8 may seem a little far-fetched. Honestly, I could go even further and say top 5 here. This is a spicy take, I know, but James Conner, a great running back and somebody I really, really like this upcoming season. My last take and my most spicy take, honestly, I don't know if this is my most spicy take. James Robinson one might be a little bit crazier, but Bijan Robinson finishing as the running back 1 this upcoming season before he's even been drafted, before we know his landing spot, everything. I think Bijan Robinson is going to come in and be a workhorse running back right away in the NFL. He's going to get a lot of targets. He's going to get a lot of work. He's going to get over probably 275 carries. And if you are able to do that and get another 80 to 90 targets in his rookie season, and with the fact that Bijan Robinson has really, really fresh legs. I mean, coming out as a 21-year-old prospect right now, I think Bijan Robinson can cobble together the running back 1 on the season, despite the fact that he has never played a single snap in the NFL. My main argument is that we've seen it before time and time again with a lot of these young running backs. I mean, we're talking about Saquon Barkley, a guy who did finish as the running back 1 in PPR scoring when he was a rookie. We're talking about Ezekiel Elliott, somebody who did finish as the running back 2 as a rookie playing 15 games. I mean, there are tons of historic examples of great running backs coming in and dominating right away in the NFL, especially considering their legs are much fresher. They are at probably their athletic peak of their career. Personally, to me, I think Bijan could easily finish as the running back 1, and I honestly think the James Conner take is spicier, but either way, I digress. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know if you think I'm completely wrong on any of these takes, because I know some of these are a little bit too crazy. But either way, guys, hope you did enjoy the video. As always, give this video a like. I'm answering every single comment. So if you guys have any questions related to fantasy, let me know. And subscribe to the channel. It is the best way to help me out. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind later. With that, though, guys, as always, have a good day, a good night, and a good life.